Hi, this is Andy from GPS Training. In this video, we're just going to show you how you can create a simple hiking route directly on a TwoNav GPS device. A question we quite often get asked, is this possible? I've actually got the smallest unit out of the range that we stock here, which is the Rock unit. You will find it easier, of course, on a bigger screen unit, but it's nice just to show you that it is still possible on this very small, compact TwoNav Rock unit. So it's where you've maybe not got an app or access to a computer to plan a route, and you just want to do a simple, quick route directly on the screen of your unit. So I've got an Ordnance Survey 1 to 25 map on this unit. If I tap on the map, I'm just making sure I've got it set as north up. That would be track up, so the map would turn with me as I've got a satellite signal. I find generally if I'm going to plan a route directly on the unit, I'll put it as what we call north up. So it's pointing north. I've got my plus and minus on the side where I can zoom in and out on the actual map page. And of course I can just drag the map around to where I want to start the walk from. There is ways you can create a waypoint on your unit and then get the waypoint to show on the map and center it on a grid reference. But sometimes you will just want to do a simple route on where you actually are at the moment, or you may find you actually just move the map to somewhere not far away, zoom in so that you're ready to actually plan your route. In the maps menu, I've got the Ordnance Survey map selected, but I've also got a 3D elevation map that's included for Western Europe loaded as well. That means once I've planned the route, I will actually see some elevation data. So you do need to make sure you've got the 3D map installed and open as well on your maps menu. So all I'm going to do when I've got the map to where I want, where this little car park sign is, tap on the three white dots, and I've got the option create new track. So it's actually the option create new track. I can change the colour of how it's going to be displayed when I'm creating it. I've got it set as hiking here, and I can give it a name. I'm just going to quickly type in SS for Simon's Side. If you've got a stylus here when you're using the keypad, like a little rubber tipped stylus, which I've got, it's sometimes easier when you're typing in on the little keypad. So I'm just going to type in the letters Hill. Simon's Side Hill is the name of this walk, and tick OK. Little green tick, and it now says on the map, click anywhere on the map to create a new track. So I tap where I want my first point, got a little white circle. If it was in the wrong place, I can tap on the three white dots and say delete point, and then tap again just to get it a bit more precise. Move the map, tap where I next want the point, got the red line here, and again I'm just tapping where I can see the green dashes for the footpaths. There's only some basic editing. It's not as detailed as when you're using or have the same features when you're using some of these planning apps and something on a map, but at least it gives you the option to create a simple route. Now I haven't quite got that on the path, so I can hit the three white dots, delete point, and just try and be a little bit more precise. If you want to move any of the points, you can do it. You've just got to be a bit careful when you tap, because sometimes if you just tap somewhere where you think you're tapping on the dot, you actually mark a point. If you do that in error, three white dots again, delete point. What I'm trying to do is when I move the map is not move over the top of the route, because you can accidentally drag points. And what I actually want to do, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit closer. Where I've got this little white dot here, if I tap right on it, just got to get right on it, it changes colour to a sort of darker surround. When it changes colour, I can then use my finger and I can move that point to realign it and get it somewhere else. What I've actually done there is I actually ended up tapping on the end point by mistake, so I've moved the end point, which I didn't mean to do. So I can now just drag that back round to where I want it. So I'm just going to tap again on that dot and then move it, so you can see how when you tap on it, it changes colour. You can move it. When you want to start your route again, you need to move to the end point. That's a red circle here, and tap on it. Sorry, just delete that again because I didn't quite tap on it. Tap right on top of it, so it goes more like a sort of dark purple colour, and then it lets me continue. So there's a little bit of knack, and you are going to sometimes find you are just going delete point because you've put something in the wrong point, but it's meant to be just a simple way of doing a really simple route. You're not going to do a massively long route, I wouldn't think, doing this method. You would generally pre-plan on an app or software before you send the route to the unit. But at least it's nice to have the feature on here that if you are stuck and you haven't got access to a computer or any apps, that you can sit on the unit. So I'll just get this a little bit further. So I'm actually going up to the Simonside Hills. But you can see how quick I'm doing it. The map moves with you as you do it, which is nice. Of course, at any time I can zoom out using the minus button on the side just to check where I'm going. So I want to go up to the Simonside Hills here, so I haven't quite got there. So I'm just going to go a little bit further, and then I'll show you what happens, how we save it and have a look at the information. So I'll just get up to this last little bit here. And again, just remember the 3 dots and delete point, which you can do if you accidentally mark a point somewhere in the wrong place. So what I'm going to do here is go back to that white dot, tap on it so it's black, and move it so it's back on the path there, and then just continue. That's a bit better there now. So I'm just going to take it to this point here and see where we are. Zooming out. Yeah, I'm just about on the top of the Simonside Hills now. So again, I'm just going to go back to that black white dot there. Sorry, just delete point there. Tap right on the white dot. I'll zoom in so I'm right on top of it. So changes black, then I can move it. So just get that one. There we go. So sometimes it just takes a little bit of knack of getting on the right dot to move it, but it is totally possible. Again, I can go back on this white dot here, move it around to where I want it to be, as you can see, and then just remember, move back to the last red dot, tap on it so it's in purple to let you continue. So a little bit of practice. I think I'm going to get better at this, but when you're finished, 3 white dots, close edition. That's it now, saved. If I close this down with a white cross, I can actually go to my routes menu. You can see it's selected at the top. It's now actually got the distance. It's 3.5 miles. And if I actually tap on it, we've got the ascent and descent. I can look at the elevation graph. Looks very, because it's a very, small screen, that's very condensed, but actually when you're doing the walk, you'll see yourself moving across that graph. But the main thing for me is I've got the distance. I can see it on a map. I've chosen yellow as the colour to see. So if I was to navigate this one now, I'll just move that around and zoom in. So I'll just get my button on the side of the unit. I'm just going to start the navigation and then I'll go back to the map. There we go. I'll be able to zoom in now. And if I zoom in, you can see I'm going to have this nice clear yellow line on the screen that I'm going to follow. It's got the black arrows in it. Again, when I'm doing the walk, I can actually zoom in close and it's going to help guide me around this walk. And we can have information on data boxes to do with how far you've walked, distance to destination. You can set up your own data boxes in the main data screen here. So yes, we can have some data boxes along the bottom of the map. I've got this set as altitude when we start walking, how far I've travelled, distance to destination. But you've got all these data boxes here. Elevation graph, we mentioned you can have an elevation graph, and also we have a compass screen. But really the whole point of this video was to show you that it is possible to create a route directly on your TwoNav unit. In an ideal world, you are better off doing on an app or a bigger screen on a computer before you send it to the device, but you do have a function to create a simple route on your GPS device to navigate with. If you purchase a TwoNav GPS from GPS Training, from our GPS store, you get access to 1 year to all of our online training videos where we go into things like this in a lot more detail, using the unit, selecting a route to navigate with, and you get that free for a year, the online training videos, as well as telephone and email support. But we hope you found this video useful, just as a tip of how you can plan a route directly on a TwoNav GPS device, and thanks for watching.